Lewis tonight in an exclusive interview with ABC News insists her son did not kill Karina Vetrano. And good evening to you at 6 o'clock. I'm Liz Cho.
And I'm Bill Ritter. Channel Lewis was wrongly convicted. That's what his mother is now claiming.
Yeah, it took a jury just 5 hours last week to find him guilty of Vetrano's murder. She was killed while jogging in Howard Beach. And now Lewis's mother is speaking out for the very first time.
Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim here now with our lead story. Stefan.
Well, Bill and Liz, the jury foreman told Eyewitness News the guilty verdict was a, quote, slam dunk. But Channel Lewis's mother says her son was a scapegoat and she has a message for the Vetrano family.
They believe that my son is helpless. So this is one of the reasons why they did this to him. They were looking for somebody definitely to place these trials on and I think that's the reason why they chose him.
In an exclusive interview with ABC's Nightline, Veta Lewis says she knows her son. She says the son she knows is not a murderer. Last week, the courtroom erupted in celebration. Channel Lewis guilty of murder and sexual abuse for the brutal beating and strangulation of Karina Vetrano in August of 2016. In an Eyewitness News exclusive, the jury foreman telling our NJ Burkett, jurors agreed quickly on the murder charge and says they did not feel pressured or rushed to render a verdict.
We just deduced that, it had to be, him, his DNA was on her too.
Then NYPD Chief of Detectives and now ABC News contributor Bob Boyce says he too has no doubt.
My fear was always in this case it would come down to a racial issue. One of the fears we had. That's why we didn't put it out that he was a male black when we knew from the DNA profile. We kept race out of this thing. The amount of evidence recovered here by the detectives, the hard work they put in, really shows that he is the perpetrator.
Meanwhile, Veta Lewis says she hasn't spoken to the Vetrano family, but says she is sympathetic.
I sorry for their loss, but I will definitely let them know that my son is not the killer.
Now, Lewis's legal aid attorneys say the two confessions were coerced and that the DNA evidence was unreliable. They say Channel did not receive a fair trial and are promising to appeal. The jury foreman says the evidence was overwhelming.
Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Couple things I want to start with before we even get into today's case. No, Quinny, I'm not anymore. So I know that there's drama popping up everywhere. I haven't been live because I refuse to deal with it, discuss it, or even address it. So I was looking for something on YouTube today. I couldn't even find anything that wasn't revolved around some BS drama. And then I saw that there was actually an update on this case. So when I looked a little further into it, the update is actually from last year, but I am still blown away by what I've seen. Now, I want you guys to know, I know a lot of people do not know this case, and a lot of people have not seen this case. I actually covered this case when it first happened in 2019. Now, I want you guys to know this is when I was doing uploads before I was doing lives. And I just want y'all to know that my editing wasn't so bad. My voice, my microphone, I had a pretty bad microphone. So I'm going to play the live, my own live, and it really goes into the case in detail. Just so you know, sit back because it's an hour long. But I just can't believe how bad my microphone was. But I really did an in-depth thing of this case. And for those of you that are not really familiar with the case, I think you'll really enjoy it because this is when I really got into uploads. And if you go back to my old stuff from 2019, 2018, you'll see it. And you guys will laugh too. So, hey, Kaz. Sounds like something in the background. All right, let me take a look because I got nothing in the background. What about now? Oh, you know what? That was my cell phone. Yeah, I had her on my cell phone. All right, I apologize. Yeah, I was listening to Natasha. Because I turned it off on my main computer, so I didn't realize my cell phone was right next to me. All right, I apologize. So, like I said, it's going to be no. That was Natasha Cooper going after Mandy Lynn. So it's gonna be like, if you guys have any questions throughout or anything, just don't laugh at my bad microphone, because that's how it was done in 2019. That was when I had like 6,000 subscribers. All right, so let me go ahead and play it. Hold on. Why is my internet suck today?
The whole entire world knows what a pathetic, puny, weak piece of filth that you are.
This is the case of Karina Vetrano. Karina Vetrano was killed on August 2nd, 2016 in her hometown of Howard Beach, New York. This is her story. This was Karina's own representation of psychological and spiritual conflict that she faced every day.
This is a demonstration of how beauty can be wasted by a girl with a fascination with innocence, yet runs towards predicaments to put herself in. This is the dissonance of my existence. I'm an angel full of purity. I'm an angel yearning for maturity. I'm an angel whose wings are so wide, ready to take flight. I am an angel with a dark side. I'm an angel whose smile is genuine. I am the sinner whose wild, feminine aura draws her closer to provocative situations. I am an angel who's a victim of your unreasonable expectations. I am the sinner who meditates manipulations. I am an angel whose love is dedicated. I am a girl who's in dire need of love. I am a woman who's afraid to give herself up. I am a child who just wants goodness. I'm a female who doesn't know what to do with all the power that I possess because I've been so blessed with a power that I'm ashamed to claim through my body, through my mind, through my name.
Karina created this 3 years before her death. The meaning of this quote by humanitarian August Wilson is a self-exploration into oneself. It represents the very core that each of us fight on a daily basis. When we have dark inside of us, we have to let the light shine the way because we know right from wrong. We forever tangle inside of ourselves with good versus evil, and it's often difficult to resolve when you're kind of stuck in the middle and you don't know which way to go. So what Wilson is saying is that it's essential to have willpower, courage, and an integral moral compass when you're trying to overcome the darkest urges and impulses that we live every day. Unfortunately, the man that killed her definitely did not share the same moral compass, and his desire to kill was far more sinister than most of us would ever comprehend or even try to understand.
Karina Ann Vetrano was born on July 12, 1986, in Queens, New York. She was born in a town called Howard Beach. Now, you might remember me talking about Howard Beach because it's home to a lot of mafia moguls. Howard Beach is about 30 minutes outside of Manhattan, generally a really safe place for locals. It's a small town in Queens, population of 29,203. Offers residents a very urban feel and not so much city-like, but yet you're still so close to Manhattan. Public schools in Howard Beach are actually above average, and Howard Beach is actually safer than 95% of the cities in all of New York State. Karina's parents were both working parents. Her mom, Cathie Vetrano, was a kindergarten teacher. Her dad, Philip, was a firefighter. Karina attended high school in Queens, New York at the Archbishop High School. Now, Karina wasn't just your average student, though. She excelled in everything she did. She graduated with honors and received a full scholarship to St. John's University, where she graduated with a master's in speech pathology. After she graduated St. John's, Karina decided to work with autistic children as a speech pathologist. In her free time, she actually wrote screenplays. She was very dedicated and loved to work out. She was 4'11", and she always wanted to make sure that her small physique was always in tip-top shape. Karina also loved to travel. She loved social media. She describes herself on social media as being a daydreamer and a thrill seeker. Karina was loved by her friends, and she would absolutely light up a room with her smile. She was respected by her peers and adored by anyone that knew her. She was smart. She was loving. She really had a good life ahead of her. In the late afternoon of August 2nd, 2016, Karina, who was just 30 years old, went for a jog as she did every other day in Howard Beach's Spring Creek Park. Now, the park is less than a block away from her house. Her dad usually joins her, but he had just had back surgery, so he told her that he wasn't going to be able to go. He begged her not to go for fear something was going to happen. And she gave those famous last words of, "Don't worry, Dad, I'm going to be fine." Those were the last words that he ever heard from his daughter. Now, in this video, you can see Karina jogging just around 5 p.m. It was taken by surveillance on somebody's house. This was the last time anyone has seen her alive.
Karina, who went for a run alone in Spring Creek Park. Later that night, Phil Vetrano found his 30-year-old daughter's abused and bloodied body in the weeds. 4.5 months later, the massive police presence here is gone, but the Vetranos refused to let the trail run completely cold.
The picture following is the last picture that she took, that her sister took of her right before she left that day to go jogging. Karina's jogs usually last about 45 minutes. When she didn't return, her father went out into panic mode. He contacted the local police, and as you just heard from the video, he went out looking for her. After about 4 hours of frantically searching, her father discovered her bruised, raped, and beaten 30-year-old body right along the path in which she jogged. Karina's pants had been pulled down to her ankles. Her entire body was filled with bruises and scratches. She had a fractured skull, a broken front tooth, and severely swollen neck. The autopsy that was performed the next day clearly showed that Karina had died of asphyxiation due to strangulation. Detectives said that Karina had been struck in the back of the head with a rock. Her hands still in the grass that she clenched while she was being dragged off the trail. Karina wasn't a lifeless victim, though. She had fought back with everything she had until her final breath. We know this because the autopsy shows that the amount of foreign DNA Karina had under her nails. Karina was 4'11" and weighed 106 pounds. Yet she had DNA on her knuckles fingers, arms, forearms. This really shows how hard she fought for her life. Now, detectives conclude that Karina was struck in the back of the head. Unfortunately, though, the DNA matched nobody in the database. They took over 600 DNA samples. They examined them over the course of the investigation, and not one was a match. It took the police 6 months of searching dead-end leads to finally find Chanel Lewis. Now, the story of how they found him was because he was walking around aimlessly and he looked suspicious. On February 15th of 2017, Chanel Lewis willingly gave a DNA sample at his home. The DNA came back as an identical match to the victim and was arrested on the 17th, taken to Rikers Island max security prison in Ossining, New York. He was booked on first-degree murder. This wasn't open and shut, though. Many conspiracy theories arose. One of them was that Karina's own father killed her, as well as he must have framed the suspect. So why would the father be blamed? Many felt it was this interview that you're about to watch that seemed highly suspicious. Now, in my opinion, the reason the father was able to find her quickly, which 4 hours really isn't quickly, is because she was killed on the path that they go jogging in every day.
A feeling came over me, and I called her on the phone. I called her once, I called her twice, I called her 3 times. I just got up and got out of there.
The first responders also said that when they walked over to the father, they found Philip in a state of shock, holding his daughter. It took 4 hours, and he finally found her. No matter what the situation, though, you're always going to find some conspiracy theory that's going to cause trouble. Not surprisingly, another conspiracy theory that popped up was that the mother must be guilty because she shows a lack of emotion. Now, in my opinion, just my opinion, it's kind of obvious the mother is high as a kite on something. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way. If my daughter was murdered and my husband found him, or the father found him, or I found her, I would be devastated, and I would probably do street drugs. So it is the way it is.
And didn't expect stuff, didn't know when it was going to happen, so it just happened very quickly. And couldn't really even respond to how we feel. We don't know yet. But the police did an excellent job. They solved this through good old hard police investigative work.
We love our daughter so very, very deeply. Our sorrow is so endlessly painful.
It's very common, though, of parents of murdered children to get some help from psychiatrists that is going to supply them with drugs to help them with the pain and their loss. So here's his confession. And I'll be honest, I was a little reluctant when I first heard the confession. And I thought, this kind of sounds coerced. Things don't exactly match up right. So
okay, we're present in the 107th Police Precinct. The date is Sunday, February 5th, 2017, and the time is about 10:33 a.m. My name is Peter McCormick. I'm an assistant DA in and for the County of Queens. Present in the room with me at this time are Detective Barry Burrell, ADA Michael Curtis, Video Technician Joseph Deal, and Chanel Lewis. Okay, Chanel, I'm about to be reading you your rights. After that, if you agree to speak with me, you may, if you wish, make a statement about and answer questions about an incident that occurred on August 2nd, 2016. Even though I've already spoken to someone else, you do not have to talk to us. I'm going to now read you your rights. You have the right to remain silent and refuse to answer questions. Do you understand?
Yes.
Anything you do say may be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand?
Yes.
You have the right to consult with an attorney before speaking to me or to the police, and to have an attorney present during any questioning now or in the future. Do you understand?
Yes.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you without cost. Do you understand?
Yes.
If you do not have an attorney available, you have the right to remain silent until you've had an opportunity to consult with one. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now that I've advised you of your rights, are you going to answer questions?
Okay.
Yes? Okay. All right. All right. Chanel, why don't we start with, I think it was a Tuesday evening on August 2nd, 2016. Do you remember that date, that evening?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And where were you at that time?
I was in Gateway and Spring Creek Mall.
Okay, by Gateway and Spring Creek Mall?
Spring Creek Park.
Park?
Yeah.
All right. Were you inside the park?
Yeah.
Okay. And was anyone with you, or were you by yourself?
By myself.
All right. About what time did you get to the park?
About 5 o'clock.
All right. And how did you enter the park? From what street?
From, where, Bell Parkway.
From where the Bell Parkway entrance is to the park? All right. And what kind of park is this? What does it look like inside? Are there trees, grass, benches?
More like large grass.
High grass? Are there any trails in the park?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And were you on a trail or were you in the grass?
On a trail.
Okay. What kind of trail is it? Paved or dirt or what?
It's kind of like dirt.
Mm-hmm. Okay. About what time would you say you got to the park that night? That evening?
About 5.
Okay. What was the weather like? Was it rainy, cloudy, sunny?
It looked like it rained like in the morning and then got sunny in the evening.
Okay. And while you were in the park, do you remember what you were wearing that day?
It was a hoodie, a sweatpants, and shoes.
Okay. What color was the hoodie? Do you remember?
Most likely brown.
Mm-hmm. And the sweatpants?
I think it's probably black.
Right. And the shoes, were they shoes or sneakers?
Sneakers.
Okay. Do you remember what color they were, what kind?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, while you were in the park, did something happen?
Yes.
What happened while you were in the park?
We were jogging, and then nothing left for another because some other situation.
All right. Well, the girl that was jogging, was she by herself or with anybody else?
By herself.
What did she look like? What was she wearing?
I was going to say she looked like she was wearing a yellow tank top, maybe.
Okay. What kind of paint?
All right, I don't know about you guys. I can't stand the sound. So what I did was I found this exact interrogation on a channel. So I'm going to play it from there. So it'll be a lot easier and a lot better to hear. Whoop, wrong thing. Hang on.
Hitting her because of the incident that was going on earlier.
Right, but did you grab her before you started hitting her, or was the first thing you did was to hit her? What was the first thing you did?
I grabbed her.
Okay. And how did you grab her?
Like this.
Okay. With both hands?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what part of her body did you grab? Do you remember her shoulders, her waist, her neck? Do you remember?
Probably like around here.
Okay, around the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And when you grabbed her, what happened then?
And then started hitting her and stuff like that.
All right. Now, did you hit her with both hands?
Probably, yeah.
All right. And what part of her body did you hit with your hands?
I didn't hit any part of her body.
Her face?
Just the face.
Just the face? All right. About how many times did you hit her in the face?
On 5.
All right. Was she standing when you started to hit her, or was she on the ground?
She was on the ground.
Okay. So when did she fall to the ground? After you grabbed her? All right. Now, when she fell to the ground, was she lying in the path or was she off the path? The pathway. When she fell to the ground and you were hitting her, was she on the pathway or was she off the pathway?
She's kind of on the pathway.
All right. About how wide is this path, would you say? Like
a couple of feet.
Okay. So it's not that wide, right? And when you were hitting her in the face, was she face up or face down?
She was like face up.
Face up. Did she say anything at all? No. Did she scream?
No, because her tooth broke.
I'm sorry? Her tooth broke? Right. Were you covering her mouth at all? No? Okay. The tooth that broke, was it like in the front, the top, or the bottom? Do you remember?
No.
Okay. How long would you say you were hitting her for? About how long in time?
The whole thing was like about 5 minutes.
5 minutes, all right. And did you do anything else to her besides hit her? Did you put her hands on any other part of her body?
No.
Okay, around her neck or anything?
Yeah, there was.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
You put her hands on her neck, around her neck? Okay. Do you remember, was it one hand or both hands?
Both.
Both? All right. And how long did you have your hands around her neck?
No.
Okay.
Now, I will say this, though. This conversation, I mean, I think the cops are totally leading him and coercing him. And that's why I was like, did he really do it at some point? At this point, just keep watching.
Okay. Did you squeeze her neck when you had your hands around her neck?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. You don't remember for how long, though? Okay.
Because I was mad at the incident.
You were mad about an incident. Okay, we're going to get to that in a little bit, all right? I just want to find out what happened, all right? And was she still moving when you had your hands around her neck?
Oh, yeah, and then she dropped into the water.
Okay. Well, when you had your hands around the neck, was she on the ground or standing up?
She's still on the ground.
On the ground. Face up or face down?
Face up.
All right. And then how did her face go in the water?
I was strangling we were near the water, and then I put her face in the ground.
Okay. You were strangling her, you said? And you put her...
No, she fell in the water.
Okay.
And then my hand was bleeding, so I went to wash off all the blood.
Okay. Which hand do you remember? You just showed me your right hand, right? Your right hand. Where was it bleeding? What part of the hand? Your knuckle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when her face went in the water, was she face up or face down?
Down.
Down?
Face up.
A face up?
Yes.
All right. Was the water covering her face?
Mm-hmm.
And how long did you hold her under the water?
Actually, I didn't hold on to the water. When I came back, she was just...
Oh, you didn't hold her under the water? Okay. Was she moving when you put her face in the water?
So when she was not moving.
Okay. What do you remember? Was she still moving when you had your hands around her neck? At all?
Mm-hmm.
How was she moving? What was she doing?
Like she wasn't really moving that much.
Okay. Did she try to hit you or touch your body at all during this time? Okay. What did she do?
Like try to scratch me.
Okay. And did she scratch you? Where did she scratch you?
On my face.
Okay. Would that be on the right side of your face?
Probably was one of these two though.
Okay. Did she leave a mark or a scratch on your face?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. So at some point before she went into the water, she had stopped moving. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
She stopped moving before her face went into the water, correct? All right. Did I'm sorry.
I kind of did.
Kind of did. All right. What could you tell if she was breathing or not?
What you say? Repeat the last question.
Could you tell if she was breathing?
No, the other one.
Oh, before that? I said, oh, at some point before she went out, that she stopped moving, and you said kind of, right?
This is like after the water?
Well, that's when you put her in the water, was she still moving then?
In the water, she fell in the
She
water.
fell, was she moving then?
After that, she wasn't moving.
Okay.
Did she fall in the water when you first threw her to the ground, or when you're on the ground with her hitting her? did she like kind of move towards the water?
It was more like a strangulation, and then she rolled into the water.
So it was after you had your hands on her neck that she went in the water. All right. And what did you do then? After that?
After that, she was just lying there, and then I got her by her ankles and then picked her back from her back and put her in the bushes.
Okay. Can you just describe to me like how you moved her? What part of the body were you holding when you moved her?
Like on the hands.
Okay.
On up her back.
Were your hands holding her arms, or were your hands under her arms, or
like holding it?
Your hands were holding one hand on each one of her hands?
Like how you just grab and just somebody, yeah.
You were dragging her by the hands or the arms, right?
Yeah.
And when you dragged her, was she facing down onto the ground or facing up to the sky?
Up to the sky.
Facing up. Okay. And where did you drag her to?
It was somewhere off the pathway.
Off the pathway?
Mm-hmm.
What's on the side of the pathway? Bushes, trees, grass?
Like some really rough kind of trees. I mean, some really rough, it's called weed and leaves.
Weed and leaves. Okay. About how high would you say it was? Was it high or?
Like about 8 feet, something like that.
Like higher than your head when you're standing?
Yeah.
All right. How far off the path would you say you dragged her into the grass? Like how many feet about?
Probably about 10.
Okay. After you dragged her in the grass, did you go back onto the path?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you got back onto the path, could you see her from where you were, from the path?
Mm-hmm.
I think you said, Chanel, that she had a phone with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what happened to her phone?
She must have lost it, all that.
Did you ever grab her phone? Yeah?
I might have touched it.
Okay. If you touched it, do you know where? Did you put it somewhere or?
No.
No? Okay, do you remember when you touched it?
No, it was doing a scuffle.
Okay. All right.
Did you touch anything else that she might have had with her?
I wouldn't know.
When you left her in the grass, were her clothes still on?
No.
What was the status of her clothing? How was her clothing?
Kind of like pulled off.
Pulled off?
Yeah.
Okay, what was pulled off?
Like her clothes.
Her shirt, her pants?
Her pants.
What about her shirt?
Sure, I think it was still intact.
Still?
Maybe.
Okay. And when you say her pants were pulled off, were they totally off, or were they half on or half off? What were they?
Looked like kind of half off.
Okay. Were they down or up? I mean, her pants.
Kind of like down.
Okay. What about her underwear?
Maybe it was down too.
Okay. Did you touch her in any way in her vagina, her anus at all?
Mm-mm.
Not at all?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Now, you said that you did this because you had some anger. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can you tell me about that anger?
Cause I used to live in a different address than I currently live right now.
Right.
And then sometimes there's this man that comes around there. He play like loud music and carry a lot of friends around there. I didn't like it because I feel unsafe and uncomfortable, and I like my place private and peaceful. And usually I just.
Okay. What place was this that you used to live in? A different place? What place was it?
It was the same neighborhood, but different street. It was at Logan Street.
The neighborhood where you live now?
Yeah.
Okay, and where do you live now?
Where I live now is Essex Street.
What's the address?
576 Essex Street.
And is that a big house, little house? Or?
It's kind of like a 3-story.
Okay. What floor do you live on?
We live in the basement.
Okay. Who's we? Who do you live with?
My mom, my sisters.
How many sisters?
2.
2? Okay. What are their names?
Flip and Sweeter.
Okay. Are they older than you or younger than you?
Older.
Older. Okay. How long? And the place you said you lived before that, you said it was Logan Street. And that's near Essex Street, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And there was someone there who got you angry? Do you remember who that was?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember who that was?
No, I wouldn't really want to say his name.
Okay.
Is he your brother? Do you have any brothers?
Yeah, but he don't live with us no more.
Is he older or younger than you?
Older.
Where does he live now?
He lives somewhere in East Flatbush.
How old is he?
About 27, 28, around that area.
What's his name?
Shaman.
Shaman? Do you see him a lot?
Yeah, he comes around the house doing something.
Does he know this person that you have an issue with?
Yeah.
Did that particular person, you don't have to tell us who he is, but did he make you angry that day on August 2nd, that Tuesday?
Yeah, because like every day he keep playing music and inviting his friends, and no, we just live in a quiet block.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like all of these type of stuff.
Okay, and about what time was that? What time was that he was playing the music and got you annoyed and got you angry?
Pretty much all day.
All right. Well, and what time, when did you leave your house to go to that park that day?
Probably left about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
In the afternoon, early afternoon?
Yeah.
And how far is your house to that? It's called Spring Creek Park, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
How far is your house from that park?
It's probably like a couple of blocks.
All right. And how did you get to the park?
Usually I just go to the industrial place and then go to the mall and then go across the bridge.
Okay. Did you walk? Did you ride a bike or?
Walk.
Okay. Was anybody with you? Did you tell anybody that you were going to the park before you went? Okay. And you entered the park through what entranceway did you get into the park? What street is that?
Parkway.
By the Bell Parkway entrance? All right. And how far into the park did you walk when you first saw the girl?
I walked to one trail and then went to the next trail.
Okay. So how far would you say in distance you had walked when you ran into her?
What do you mean?
Well, at some point while you were inside the park, you were listening to music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And were you listening to music through headphones or the radio, or how were you listening to music? What was your phone? All right. And at some point while you're walking, listening to music, you see the girl jogging towards you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how far had you walked, like from the point you entered until you saw her coming? Halfway through, more than halfway through, or?
It's kind of like one trail and then you go to the next trail.
Okay, so you took one trail to the next trail. All right. And from the time you first grabbed the girl until the time you dragged her into the grass and left her there, about how long you think that took? You know, when you punched her and strangled her, how long would you say it lasted?
About 5 minutes.
Okay. Now, had you ever gone to that park like before this date? Would you go there on occasion, or?
Yeah, sometimes when I get angry and stuff like that.
How many times would you say you've been there before to the park?
Like several times.
More than 3-4 times?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you?
They were kind of, they see me.
Okay. Did they ask you what happened to your face? Did they notice they had a scratch on your face? Anybody?
Not really, but they noticed this, like.
What did you say about that?
I said I fell.
Okay. Did you say where?
Mm-hmm.
What did you say?
I said Gateway Mall Park.
Okay. A catcher in baseball, or with your knees on the ground?
It's more like a one with the baseball.
Like a catcher in baseball? Did you have any friends or people you knew who lived in the neighborhood by Howard Beach?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, the time is. I said, did you have any friends in the area? He said, no.
I whispered to him. It was something he said.
If you're feeling that way, fear no more. So the assistant director of the OCME Department of Forensic Biology, Linda Rosano, she was the prosecution's final witness. She actually described the most compelling evidence against Lewis. The astronomically long odds of the DNA found in Vetrano's neck and cell phone matched anyone other than Lewis. The defense disputes the DNA profile and the manner by which examiners compiled the evidence. Rosano said analysis used the DNA samples to build a profile of male donor A that is expected to be found in greater than 6.8 trillion people. Leventhal pointed out at Lewis and said that he was that one person. DNA found under 2 of Vetrano's fingernails was a less certain match. Rosano said that the DNA found under one nail is approximately 376 billion times more likely to come from Lewis than any other unknown related person. The DNA found under the other nail is approximately 29.2 billion times more likely to come from Lewis than someone else. So the phone also included a search history. This is his phone of over 130 searches, including Wikipedia page for the Catholic Sacrament of Penance and terms such as Miranda warning, arraignment, and what happens after a felony conviction. 6 months after the murder, police found Lewis's cell phone in his bedroom. It contained 2 pictures of Vetrano and a photo of the crime scene taken from online news articles. Karina's first trial took place and it ended in a hung jury.
Breaking news tonight, parents stone-faced and in shock. A mistrial in a murder case that captured the city's attention. The jury deadlocked on the man accused of beating, strangling, and killing a Queens jogger 2 years ago. Good evening. I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Christine Johnson. Jurors were unable to reach a verdict after 2 weeks of gruesome evidence and graphic testimony.
They had heard from the victim's father, who relived the moment he found his daughter dead. CBS 2's Jessica Layton live now outside the courthouse in Kew Gardens, Queens tonight. Jessica.
Maurice and Christine, this ruling just about an hour and a half ago seemed to catch everybody off guard. When the judge said the words hung jury and mistrial, the entire courtroom fell silent. Not only silent, but everybody just seemed to kind of freeze in place in disbelief. After the words started to sink in after a couple of seconds, then came the whispers, things like, "I can't believe this. Is he serious? Oh my gosh." But the jury only deliberated for a day and a half. The stunned parents of Karina Vetrano walked out of the courtroom, followed by relatives, some of them crying, after hearing the judge declare a mistrial by reason of hung jury in a case that made headlines across the country. The jury deciding the fate of Channel Lewis on the murder charge deliberated a day and a half before saying they were hopelessly deadlocked. The 22-year-old was accused of strangling and beating the young woman while she was out for a run near her home at Howard Beach, Queens in August 2016. Her father, Phil Vetrano, found her body. During the trial, the state presented evidence linking Lewis to DNA found on the victim's cell phone, fingernails, and neck. In fact, it was that testimony from the DNA expert that the jury asked to listen to again today. Prosecutors also presented a confession from the East New York man. Then, just after 9 o'clock tonight, the jury sent the judge a note saying it was unable to make progress and had exhausted all thoughts and opinions.
His retrial began on
Her family was devastated. On March 18th of 2019, his retrial started. It lasted just under 2 weeks. Chanel Lewis was sentenced to life without parole. He is currently serving his life sentence at the Attica Correctional Facility in upstate New York.
in Queens, the jury working late into this night and coming back with a verdict. Cheers erupted from the family and friends of Karina Vetrano, guilty on all counts, with the man on trial for murdering the young jogger.
The verdict's announced just about 90 minutes ago. Eyewitness News reporter Lucy Yang live at the courthouse with reaction from Vetrano's family. Lucy? Well, Sade and Bill, it was a night of high drama and tensions released as those guilty verdicts came pouring in for the Vetrano family who waited 3 agonizing years to hear those words. They basically erupted into a standing ovation. The 4-man reading loud and clear that they believe 22-year-old Channel Lewis murdered and sexually abused 30-year-old Karina Vetrano, whose only crime was going for a jog. Her parents leaving court tonight feeling like their prayers have finally been answered.
Thank you, Jesus. Jubilation. Justice.
It was a hot August day in Howard Beach. Karina Vetrano went out for a run, but never came home. They eventually found her battered body deep in the park. It took 3 years and 2 trials to reach this moment of justice. The first trial ended in a hung jury in November. This time, prosecutors packed their case with forensic evidence and emotions as both parents testified about having their beloved daughter returned to them in a casket.
This is what she looked like. An hour before the defendant got his hands on her. And this is what she looked like after.
It brought at least one juror to tears. 5 hours later, guilty on all counts. Now, going forward, sentencing is scheduled for April 17th. Channel Lewis could face life in prison without parole.
Judge, Your Honor, I want to thank you for giving my family and myself the opportunity to speak in your house. First, I would like to speak to you man to man, from the heart of a father of 2 girls to the heart of the father of 2 girls. You can only begin to imagine the pain, the anguish of finding your baby brutally beaten, her neck swollen and bruised, knowing she was dead, unable to help her, to save her, to protect her, as any father would instinctively want to do. That monster killed 4 people the night of August 2nd, 2016. One of us is in heaven, but the other 3 walk the earth as zombies, just waiting to die to be with Karina again. There were no more Merry Christmases, no more Happy New Year's, no more happy birthdays. There is no more pleasure in life, no more smiles, no more happiness. Those are all taken by that convicted, murdering rapist. My heart was ripped out of me that night and created a void that will never heal. Only my faith in God and my belief in heaven keeps me from killing myself for fear of not being allowed into heaven to see my baby again. Now, I would speak to you as a victim to a Supreme Court justice. Whatever happens here today, whatever sentence you impose, there will be no true justice. The light of my life was brutally beaten and murdered by that animal. True justice will be served only when he is dead and he meets the Lord our God. He and only he can impose true justice upon that murderer, and he will feel the wrath of God and burn in eternal hell. That convicted, murdering rapist deserves to spend the rest of his life locked away from society. He's a serial killer in the making. If he wasn't caught, I know he would have killed again and again. He's proven that. As an angry, violent boy, he told the teacher he wanted to bring a knife to school and kill all the girls. As an angry, violent man, he made good on that threat the night he killed the brightest light in the world, my baby girl, Karina.
While my sister was dying, being murdered, I was giving my 3-month-old baby a bath. I did not know that those were the last moments of lightness and peace I would know. I did not know that all innocence would be lost that August night. To state how the brutal murder of my sister Karina has impacted my life is nearly impossible. Every day is filled with loss and yearning. I yearn to be a child again, to have Karina crawl in my bed on Christmas mornings while our parents were still asleep. I yearn for my child to know his Aunt Riri, for her to teach him to love fiercely and live fearlessly in pure lightness that was her, that is her. Chanel Lewis killed my beautiful, innocent, insightful, gentle sister. My sister that always put her pajamas on inside out and backwards. Whose feet, if it weren't for her giant big toe, were the size of a doll's. Her hands, her tiny hands, left grasping for weeds in attempt to save her life. My sister is dead, a thought I cannot grasp. Even after enduring countless court dates, 2 trials, heinous accusations against my family, and a circus of a defense, I cannot accept that my baby sister is dead. I want to show you. These are the shoes. These are Karina's shoes. These are the shoes that she put on the morning of August 2nd as she prepared to work and wore throughout the workday. As tiny as they are, Your Honor, these are the shoes of a giant, a valiant warrior, and a queen. Chanel Lewis, I have no doubt at all that you are fully and completely capable to comprehend everything that I am about to say to you. That the vacant expression you show is merely a reflection of your detached and empty soul. You've proven over and over again you are a very clever and capable man, Chanel Lewis. Contacting and complaining to news reporters, boasting about your front page notoriety, your phone searches, especially those made after your voluntarily submitted your DNA, are particularly revealing of your resourcefulness, knowing your secret would soon be exposed. As an alleged God-fearing man, I will remind you that the very second you laid your loathsome hand upon a child of God, my daughter, my innocent daughter, you rejected the Holy Spirit and carried out the work of Satan. The angels wept and the devils danced with delight as you proceeded to torture and impose the most brutal and merciless slaying of my beautiful baby. While we suffered and died 1,000,000 deaths every second of every day, you breathed, you ate, you searched your phone for pornography and forcible rape. You are, and you remain true to your character as a pathetic, evil coward. After racking my frazzled brain for countless days in effort to verbalize the devastation created by the monster, the convicted sexual abuser and murderer, Chanel Lewis, I've concluded it is impossible for mere words to qualify the depth and vastness of these tribulations. So to summarize, but not minimize, I must first acknowledge that the true victim here is my innocent daughter, Karina, who brutally suffered her last moments on earth in battle with this evil, angry, and perverted man, Chanel Lewis. It was Karina who was ambushed, alone and helpless. It was Karina who was terrorized, beaten, battered, strangled, desecrated, and killed. Yet, I assert that in the early evening hours of August 2nd, 2016, Chanel Lewis fluoridated me as well. Imagining her deep, precious eyes that reflected her most radiant, emphatic soul, filled with pain and terror, gasping and struggling, looking into the empty, merciless eyes of this angry, enraged stranger provokes a level of excruciating pain and fury that I never before could have conceived. My grief counselors have told me that grief includes losing a part of oneself. But Your Honor, I've lost all of myself. I only see glimpses of the woman I once was when I'm with my grandson, who is the only person in my life that is still innocent and unaware of the abomination we exist with. Among her multitudes of attributes, Karina was born and gifted with extraordinary intellect and profound wisdom. I've chosen to share a portion of one of Karina's writings that I feel will demonstrate but a morsel of the character of my magnificent child. I am in a state of, this is Karina's words, I am in a state of awe of all the majesties that life has to offer. And it only occurs when I'm with nature. These little microscopic things that I let bother me, parking tickets, an unanswered text, some girl who I don't even like doesn't like me. But why? The guy who didn't put his blinker on. I let these things consume me. It is all these pathetic pieces of everyday life that give me so much grief. And then I put my running sneakers on. I plug my headphones into my ears. I hit the pavement, and it all goes on mute. I don't think I need to point out the heart-shattering irony here, Your Honor, but rather I choose to receive this as Karina's validation to us that while the demon, the predator, Chanel Lewis, attacked, tortured, and murdered her, Karina was in a state of grace and prayer. She was worshiping her Heavenly Father. And with that, I believe she ascended directly to God's kingdom, where she now sits, holding his righteous right hand. I implore you to impose the most severe sentence allowed by law. He has shown absolutely no remorse as he sat before this court and heard and allowed his attorney to insinuate to the jury, that my husband, the beloved father, best friend and hero of his victim, held responsibility for the savagery that he himself imposed. If he was ever released from incarceration, he would be in the care of those who do not even acknowledge his crimes or recognize his propensity to violence. Had his previous threats to harm women been recognized and addressed, my daughter, my beautiful, precious daughter, Karina Vetrano, would still be alive. Thank you, Your Honor.
Attica is the hardest prison in New York State. He was 23 years old when he got sentenced. He's got a lot of years in Attica.
With all my heart, every fiber of my being, that God, who is at this very moment embracing Karina Vetrano, I believe this, who is providing solace and comfort, not only to the family, but to the community who's suffering your crime, that same God is ready, willing, and anxious to forgive you for this crime. One person can make that happen, Mr. Lewis, and that's you. Your protestations of being innocent, that was not designed for me. It was designed for your followers, I'm sure. But in the not too distant future, you're going to wake up and you're going to find that a lot of these followers have moved on to another cause, another case, and you're going to be by yourself, very, very lonely. And I suggest to you at that point, You put into practice the penance that you researched after you brutally and savagely molested and murdered this young girl. That's my advice to you. But I will say one thing. When you do, and if you do, come to that decision, you're going to do it inside a cage.
And there you have it, folks. That was 2019, before live shows, before I started really doing live shows. That's how we did it. We did editing videos. But the reason why I wanted to show that is I wanted to show the whole case, and I couldn't explain it any better than I did in that video. So that's why I figured I'd do it that way and just show you guys the video. Honestly, if I was making the video today, I think I'd cut out a lot of the interrogation. Like, watching it now, I was like, okay, I see what I did wrong. But I like a lot of things that I did do. I really wish I knew what editing program I used. Yeah, I do, Dragonfly. I sell them too. And that's why I wanted to talk about that. So I was flipping through YouTube today. Thank you, Diane. I was flipping through YouTube today, and I saw that YouTube, True Crime Daily, happened to have an update. So when I went to it, I looked to see, what they were talking about, because I knew I covered the case a couple of years prior. And thank you, Debbie. And being that I knew I covered the case a couple of years ago, I wanted to hear what they had to say. The problem is they really didn't add anything new, just stating that, Chris Hansen went to the parents, Chris Hansen went to the mom, and the mom wouldn't talk. And then Chris Hansen went to the father, and the father just said he didn't do it. He was framed. Now, as you guys see from from what we saw with the experts, there's no doubt that it was him. There was DNA on her back, underneath her fingernails, with undisputable matches. I mean, thank you, Bedwolf. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Debbie. And it was undisputable. Just because he has his IQ is not great doesn't mean he didn't do it. There were many instances that, people say he was acting weird. He told a teacher that he wanted to bring a knife to school so he can kill someone. So I don't really care how, low his IQ is. Doesn't mean he's not a murderer. So then I found, and I'm shocked, something that kind of blew my mind. Hold on, where is it? Okay. Okay. I couldn't even believe it. 40,000 people are demanding. This is the last update as of last year, and there hasn't been a follow-up since. 40,000 people are demanding that the Queens County DA's office review the convicted of the intellectually disabled man serving a life sentence for jogger Karina Vetrano's murder, an online petition shows. Chanel Lewis was sentenced to life without parole in April 2019 for the rape and strangulation of the 33-year-old woman in Howard Beach. Let me go ahead and share this. 3 years earlier, after a trial riddled with issues, the petition alleges. We demand that Melinda Katz immediately refer Chanel Lewis' case to the Conviction Integrity Unit for investigation to reopen the case and release him on bail. Under the guidelines of the CIU, investigations may be opened where there is a credible claim of actual innocence or other wrongful conviction. In the case of Chanel Lewis' murder conviction in the death of Karina Vetrano, multiple factors meet our criteria, including a history of prosecutorial misconduct on the part of prosecutor Brad Leventhal, concerns over the use of racial profiling in Lewis's initial arrest, mid-trial disclosure of significant scientific evidence constituting a 240.20 violation, credible claims by the defense that the confessions the prosecution relied upon in court were coerced by police. The petition, a copy of which was reportedly delivered to the DA's office Tuesday, adds that Katz vowed to tackle prosecution misconduct when she got into office. Now, while Melinda Katz's office takes the time to determine how they feel about evaluating whether they may have convicted the wrong person and violated Chanel's Lewis legal rights, Lewis is suffering. He's been raped in prison, and everyone's supposed to feel bad for him. The Khan, now around 24, has been the victim of sexual assault while in prison. The DA's office declined to comment from the Post on Tuesday. Petition is asking Melinda Katz to send Lewis's case to the Conviction Integrity Unit. Talked about their daughter in front of Howard Beach home after Lewis' conviction. The father, who was one to discover his daughter's battered body among the weeds in a desolate park, declined comment. The update nailed him. I absolutely agree. I 100% agree. And if you really look at her murder, it wasn't performed by a brain surgeon. In my opinion, and like I said, I've studied this case, and in my opinion, it was done by somebody who wasn't all there. Just my opinion. The way she was raped, the way she was left, the way her body was, it just wasn't done by a professional. It was done by somebody who was not the brightest. So when you have the DNA that is that solid, where it's, I don't care about the prosecution. I don't care if there was some kind of misconduct that he did in another thing. DNA does not lie. Now, could a little bit of DNA be planted? Of course it can. But this was 2017. Okay. I spent my whole life growing up in Queens and Long Island. There really wasn't racial profiling in 2017. Now, if you tell me this in 1983, yeah, definitely. But in 2017, no, they didn't need more Black people doing crimes. The fact that someone saw him, he kind of matched up to the sketches that were of him. They did not pick just some random guy and decide to take all his DNA and put it underneath her nails and put it underneath her back. The scratches on his face matched everything that happened. And I'm sorry, but he did it. I don't care that he gets raped in jail. I don't care if he ends up dead in jail. Then again, I don't want to see anyone dead. But the bottom line is he did it. And sorry that you have a low IQ, but you still did it. Plain and simple. And I feel her parents are heartbreaking. And listening to a mom, it's heartbreaking. And the father, the reason why I try to blame the father is because the father's the one that found him. Father's the one that found her. Now, people said for a long time, well, why would the father find her? How would the father know where to go? Because he just went along their jogging path. And if I remember correctly, there were weeds that were really high or something, but the father knew where to go because she took the same jogging path. And once that jogging path was released, that she was out jogging, he knew exactly what path to take. And it's just it's a heartbreaking case. It was heartbreaking when I covered it in 2019. First jury was a hung jury, and then second jury was a, conviction, and he damn well deserved to get convicted. So that is my case for today. But yes, like I said, that was editing when you didn't put emotion into it. You just told a story, and I'll get back to it. I promise. I promise. I didn't realize how in depth I was back then, though, either. I was pretty in depth. I gotta get back to that. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, even through all the really bad sound. I just wish I remembered what editing program I used, because that was pretty good editing. Should do a throwback. Maybe I'll do that Sunday. Every Sunday, I'll do a throwback video. Let me tell you though, I spent a lot of time on that video and it only got like, I think 1,000 views. And I was like, why do I even bother? I was like, I spent like all fucking day on this video and think I got like 1,000 views. So that's why I like stopped doing it. Do I have Facebook? Yeah. You can find me on Perplex QT, my regular name, if you know it, Energy CC. We don't use that word in here, Pedro. Sorry. Change your wording. No tragedy pimping and heckling. Nope. Although, Quinny, I've been told I was the biggest tragedy pimp on YouTube. In MGL's live, Tragedy Pimp Exposed told me I was the biggest tragedy pimp on YouTube. Okay. So I also want to let you know, before I shut down, in light of all the everything, I have decided to cash in on it. So we have made a Tragedy Pimp candle and Tragedy Pimpin' candle. Just leave me a note if you want Tragedy Pimp or a Tragedy Pimpin'. And it's on the website at energycandles.com. Bad Wolf has been dropping the link. But there is a catch to it. $5 out of each candle will go to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So not only do you get to burn a tragedy pimp, but your money, $5 of each, goes to a good cause. And as always, with any fundraiser I do, I will post all the links of all the donations that I do. And that's it. And if you want a different scent because I just put a couple of scents up there. If you want a different scent, you can pick any scent that I have. Just go ahead and put on the note when you order it, just put a note and tell me what other scent you have. And I have tons of flower scents that are not even on the website yet. So if you want like lilac, magnolia, I have so many scents that I just haven't put them on the website yet. But the website is fixed, which is awesome. And give me a break. You're about the only one I watch these days. Well, you are, except Viva. Who's Viva? Keep up with our PM crap show, but for true crime, you're it. Thank you, Dragonfly. And let me show you guys. Hold on. All right. I'm still streaming, so you guys can see it. So here are your Tragedy Pimp and Tragedy Pimpin'. And that's it. And when you go to order it, you just pick, like I said, if you want white, black, wine. It's a 9-ounce candle, by the way. And then you pick cotton or wood, violet. The ones I have up are tobacco and vanilla and sugar coconut, and violet and magnolia. But like I said, you could pick any scent. I just picked the 3 that I need to put on the website. So, and that's it. And I would love to set the goal for $1,000. That's a lot of candles. But that's it. And you pick whatever label you want. Yeah, can you believe it, Bad Wolf? I couldn't even believe it. I was like, this bitch has got to be fucking kidding me. Yeah, I'm the worst tragedy pimp out there. Okay. So, and that's it. So everyone order their tragedy pimping candles. Oh, and by the way, this one says getting justice for the voiceless and non-conventional ways. Karens across social media have to label us because of their own insecurities and jealousy. And this one says, I'm not working. Nosy, busybody Karens on social media trying to label people based on their own ridiculous insecurities and jealousy. Don't be a jealous hater, be a pimp. Yeah, tobacco and vanilla is a dupe of a Tom Ford candle. I bought this vanilla, but it's called National Refresher Oil. That's the same as essential oil. It depends. I don't know the brand. I know, Quinny. But since I was called it, that's why we went with it. I mean, I am like literally the furthest thing from a thing, but okay. You keep going that. Hey, East Coast Beauty. So that's it. Tragedy pimping. And like I said, $5 of each candle sale goes to the support the national and missing center for exploited missing the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They can go sit and talk about Molly and Dolly 5, 6, 7 hours a day. I know. I agree, Bedwolf. I couldn't believe she said it. And she said it in Molly's live, no less. Okay. But I like when people say dumb shit because then it inspires me to do something like make a tragedy pimp candle. Thank you, Elsa. I was going to make a tragedy pimp leech candle, but I can't think of what they would be or if anyone would even want them. Yeah, Lola, I never understood that either, to be honest. I really didn't. I did not understand that sign. I thought it was weird. Kiwi's channel is the karma channel of all. Oh, order your candle, princess. Yeah, but Amanda, the problem is all of true crime has gotten to be that. All of it. And that's why I refuse to do it anymore. That's why I've been quiet the last couple of days because I knew I would open my big mouth and I'm not trying to go there. I'm trying to stick to true crime only and not get involved in all the bullshit. So the only way to not get involved in all the bullshit is to keep my mouth shut. So we made candles instead. Elsa, I make 15 different vanilla scents for real. I have berry vanilla. I have vanilla and tobacco. I can make any vanilla. Vanilla and coconut sugar. I have vanilla. I mean, anything. Oh, are you really, Elsa? Well, you can order some candles. Exactly, Amanda. It's not easy, though. I'm telling you, it's not easy. Because especially when my name's being thrown around, it's really hard to keep quiet. But I just turned it off, didn't listen, and just kept it off. Somebody's been watching you tragedy pimps take flight. Just regular drama disguised as awareness. Oh, exactly, Bedwolf. Bedwolf knows. He's been around a long time. I got fired. Dire Straits has candles. Live in a little village called Tweed, Ontario, where this 61-year-old grandma used to be a hippie smoker. Now I smoke weed in Tweed for anxiety and pain control. Okay. Weed is good. Oh, no. Earthquake. Princess, I totally agree. I wish people would leave me the fuck alone. But they can't. They just can't. So I've been zero. Not commenting on it. Not saying nothing. And I've said it before and I mean it again. When it comes to true crime, I don't care if I got 50 people in here. As long as we're not talking about the bullshit. All these people think they're so great because they got all these hundreds of people. Yeah, because you're talking about fucking drama. Everybody knows drama brings numbers. And all these people that go after Michelle, bitch, please. How pathetic are you? It's ridiculous. But I'm not going to talk about it. When you made your community regarding the candle, the price is $25. As I went to, yeah, because $5 is going to $5 is going to the donation. And I never said 25. I don't show me where I said that the candle price was 25. Because I've made it at 30 the entire time. So if I'm wrong, tell me where I said that the candle price was 25. Because if I'm wrong, I'll change it. You saw it. Where did you see that that I said that it was 25? That's what I want to know. That's what I'm asking. Well, Dane's playing games. Oh, I agree, Cece. Okay, at no point on the website does it say $25 on my community page. I'm looking again. At nowhere on the website does it, on my community page, does it say $25. So I don't know where you got that from, but no, the price was not raised. It's been 30. $5 again, $5 goes to the Center for Missing and Exploited Children. You're getting a 9-ounce candle, plus you get a free wax melt donut. So yeah, if you're gonna come here and quote me on something, then please show me where it is, because I just looked and it doesn't exist. Try again though. Piss on them in an hour time. I agree. Been on true crime for 2 years. I just cannot with some of these channels. I unsubbed all of them. What they did to Billy Joe, I cried with that much emotion for 2 years. I felt her pain. Ah, I hear you, Dragonfly. My is still tagging Quentin and what she doing with the money. I call it Queen Bee's Childers? Childers? What's Childers? Bad Wolf, you girls in there a lot. I think she's even a member. That's a good point. Adrian, I just saw your post and you're right. There's 2 types of tragedy pimps. In person and virtual. I know, East Coast. You can't win them all. All right, we're not getting into the drama, guys. No drama. Because if I speak on it, I won't stop. So I can't speak on it. I got to stay quiet. Zip, zip. Because that's like it's like an overflow. Once you start, you won't be able to stop. So I got to zip it. Zip, zip, zip. What I will say, this is the only thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to shut down before I get in trouble. There's a lot of things that MGL says that are lies. We all know this. This is not a secret. But I can tell you that everything she said about science is 100% accurate. How do I know? I was there for it. So that's all I'm going to say. I just wanted to put that out there. And yeah. But one last thing. People need to look at themselves and stop being hypocrites. Because all I see are hypocrites everywhere. I saw it yesterday on somebody's stream. Someone could go after somebody time in and time out and over and over and over, but God forbid that person finally snaps back and they're triggered and they're the ones that are bad. Nah, that shit ain't happening. So like I said, zip it, move past it. I don't care if I got 50 fucking people in here, as long as it's the right 50 people. And that's how I feel. And people need to be less worried about me and start worrying about themselves. Plain and simple. Because I got candles to make. And if you don't know me, how I donate, by the way, I usually do once I hit 50, then I'll do the donation. But I do post all the receipts, and everyone knows that I always do this for fundraisers. I had raised I think it was like $2,500 for St. Jude, not just St. Jude, but St. Jude, what else? Make-A-Wish Foundation and one other. And then a little boy in the drama community had cancer, and I made candles for that. We sold a bunch of that, gave all those funds to the mom in Australia, and that's it. So, yeah. So that's what we're trying to do, is raise $1,000 for that's not 1,000 candles. That's $5 per candle. So let's try to get 1,000, and that's it. It's for a great cause. I'm going to do a fundraiser too for national exploited children. I did one once. I think we raised like 1,000, which is why I got the $1,000 number. So let's raise more. And yeah. And then people can call me a tragedy pimp, because I'm tragedy pimping. Plain and simple. So, but I do see I got some orders, so I am going to get off of here so I can go make some candles. Quinny, those are on the website. I put them on the website. Those are up there. I put the gift sets. I put the memorial candles. What else? The website is fixed, by the way, if you guys didn't notice. I'm so excited. So now I don't have to do each one individually. So, yeah. I read some Facebook, but I do not go on there much. Pictures of grandbabies. Use Messenger to use video calling. Here I come looking for you now. Oh, also my Instagram. I always forget, guys. Go to my Instagram. That's the one thing I never promote, and I don't know why. And you could also, if you're a Facebook person, you can also buy candles right from my Facebook. My whole shop is up there. And one of these days, I'm going to get to link all my stuff to YouTube. So you'll be able to buy right from YouTube, which I think I'm going to do that later. I think I'm going to try doing that today. I don't know how to do it, but we're going to figure it out. They say it's pretty easy. So hopefully you guys can buy right from the website. I know a lot of people want Christmas orders, so I'm going to add a bunch of Christmas scents today. I'm going to add a bunch of holiday scents and winter scents that aren't on the website. Some scents I'm out of already, and I'm not ordering more because I'm dwindling down, so I got to change those on the website. So, yeah. But it's going to be good. And that's it. So if you're going to order a candle now and you want like a flowery scent or you want a Christmas scent, I have gingerbread. I have a whole bunch of scents. And I'm going to start mixing scents too, like gingerbread and vanilla or gingerbread and peppermint. I'm going to try experimenting and see what happens. So, and that's it. All right. So I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Facebook is Energy CC. Been waiting on Chris. Yeah, they're going to be updated today, Debbie. I ordered a bunch of scents, and we also have like French toast scents, like tons of stuff. So yeah, I'm excited. All right. So I'm gonna get off though, so I can get candles done. I got to get some candles made so they can cure, and then I need to update the website. Facebook, here, let me give you guys links. Hold on. Oh. All right, here's my Facebook. And K-Rax, I saw you said you needed to update the website. I mean, you needed to update the label. And then my Instagram, which I always forget. Now, also for Instagram, if you have an order, pending, the best way to find out if it's done is my Instagram, because I post everything. Most of the candles that I make before I ship out, I post on Instagram. So if you're waiting on an order, if it shows on Instagram, you'll be getting a label later that day. So, and that's it. Another thing I want to show you guys. If you order, I'm actually pretty excited about this. If you order, whatchamacallit, a essential oil, I now have these black boxes that you get the essential oil and crystals in. So I'm pretty excited about these boxes. And that's just for the essential oil. That's like not even on the website yet. So that was for a special order. Sweet Elsa. All right. Let me go so I can get work done and get business rolling. And I'm hungry. I got to eat something. So, okay. So everyone order your candles. Like I said, Christmas candles will be on there today and by tonight. And that's it. Have a wonderful day. I hope you guys enjoyed today. Stay away from the drama. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Nope, that's it. All right. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Peace out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and subscribe. Oh, that's Dayton playing a game. Subscribe to Facebook. Hit that like button. Share Instagram. And let's get me my $1 million empire. Do you guys want to know? Dayton is crazy. He's absolutely crazy. He's building a computer. I shit you not. This computer better make fucking gold. He has spent, now it's his money, so I can't say anything. He has spent $4,100 to build a computer. That's to build it. It's not even like he's getting it from prepared. He's building it. That's like a $15,000 computer. I don't know what the hell he needs such a fast computer for, but yeah, it is the sickest build I think I've ever seen. He's like PewDiePie status, no joke. Like he's going to have a gaming computer like PewDiePie has. The best of everything. And I mean, it's going to last him, but I don't want to hear nothing out of him for years. So yeah, he bought the graphics card alone was almost $1,800. Then he bought more, but I can't say anything. It's his money. How am I supposed to say anything? I said, Dean, you left yourself with like $80. I don't care, Ma. What else do I need? I'm not even buying a car for another year. Well, that's true. So, but like I said, who am I to say anything? It's not my money. I told him, I said, crypto mining, exactly. I said, you better be streaming with all this. He's 15. But I said, I hope you're going to stream and make money with this kind of equipment. I mean, it is sick. I'm not going to lie. It is a sick computer. So we'll see. But, he's looking at all these big streamers, and he bought all the stuff for his desk. And I said, what would you do if your dad didn't die? Well, I wouldn't have the money to do all this. So, well, duh. So, but hey, whatever keeps him happy. It's his money. Can't say anything. I'm not going to bitch at him. Yeah, he had a birthday, November 12th. But I wouldn't buy him this stuff. But hey, you know, he's like, Ma, I get money every month. That's true. You're right. Can't say anything. It only takes one golden lotto ticket to win it all. Yeah, I know. He said his friend knows how to do it because I said, I don't think this is a good idea. It's too expensive to screw up. He's like, Mom, it's not that hard. But I mean, one of the reasons I can't bitch at him, I built my computer. Well, my ex-boyfriend did it, but I built my computer. And I mean, my computer we built in 2017. And at the time I bought all the stuff, I bought top of the line everything. I still have no issues with my computer. And it's what, 5 years old already? And I don't have one issue. Never did. My freaking lights still blink. So I really can't say anything. I said, if you're going to build it, you got to do it right. But I didn't think he would need all that money. I agree, Dragonfly. I just hope that he makes money back at it. You know what I mean? But like I said, I can't say anything. It's his money. So, but he knows he's getting it every month till he's like 24. So, and I even said to him, I go, you want to lend your brother money? He goes, no. I said, all right. Just figured I'd ask. He's like, no, not lending anyone money. Okay. Not a problem. It's your money. So, kids. He is Capone. And now he just found out he's getting even more. But Brad was good for something for him. He's definitely worth more dead than he was alive. I'll tell you that much. So, but Dayton's the only one that gets paid. What to do on my computer? It just sits here. Ask Dayton after he builds it.
Ask Dayton what?
So what should I do on my computer? It just sits here. I was telling him about your insane build that's like going to be like PewDiePie.
PewDiePie?
Yeah, PewDiePie.
Be better than his.
What?
Be better than his.
Oh, it'll be better than PewDiePie's. My bad.
I mean, no, it probably wouldn't. They probably have like an AMD Threadripper 32 or something.
Dang, you got the best of everything.
No, the CPU, there's like a CPU that's like $2,000 on its own.
Yours was almost 18.
I know, but that one I got was 16 cores. The one you could get is 64.
Oh.
And that's like $3,000 by itself.
Oh.
The AMD
Crazy.
Threadripper.
Crazy. No, he was walking into the kitchen. Crazy. Set aside for the old folks home. Exactly. I'm telling you, Quinny, I'm going to need it. Totally going to need it. I told Dayton that him and I were going to be in a contest. And I said the loser has to walk around the block holding a sign. What did the sign say, Dayton?
I'm sexy and I know it.
Oh, I'm sexy and I know it. So he laughed. He's like, I am not doing that. Well, don't lose the bet.
You can't pay me.
But he wouldn't do it. So I got to come up with a good bet for him. You imagine Dave walking around the block with a sign, I'm sexy and I know it. Oh my God, that would be classic. That would be classic. Now Dave will take care of you. I know, right? Actually, I'm counting on Phoenix to take care of me. Phoenix is going to be rich. So, all right, though. But I'm really getting off now. I have a ton of candles to make and stuff to do. And all right, I'll see you all later. Have a wonderful day. I'm purple and I know it. That would be a good one. And stay away from the drama. It's no good. And I'll see you guys later. Hit that thumbs up on the way out. And thank you for a super chat, PayPals, candle orders, and everything in between. And let's be tragedy pimping. All right, I'll see you guys later. Peace.